Hello everyone and welcome back to another lesson of constructing Arabic sentences. This is lesson number 10. In today's lesson, we're going to talk about أسماء الإشارة. أسماء الإشارة. أسماء الإشارة. Or in English, demonstrative pronouns. These are words that are used to point at things or people. So I want to say that this, that, those, these are in Arabic called أسماء الإشارة. Okay, now in Arabic, in classical Arabic, these are the basic demonstrative pronouns. Okay, so if I'm going to say, why are they 5? In English, there's 2 to say this or these. But in Arabic, since it's gender specific, we have more. So to say this, would say the or the. The is for masculine, the for feminine. If there are 2 people or object, I'll say thani for masculine, tani for feminine. If there are more than 2, meaning 3 and more, I would say ulai. And doesn't matter what is the gender in this case. Ulai. Ulai. Now, these are not the ones that you should memorize. The ones that you should memorize are these. هذا هذه هذان هاتان هؤلاء. هذا, read as هذا. This small thing here is not fatha, it's a small alif. So this word is read هذا, and it means this, and it's used for masculine. Objects or person. Masculine object or person, you're pointing at him, you're pointing at it. If it's in Arabic and masculine object, you'd say هذا هذا. If it's feminine, you would say هذه هذه. If there are 2 and they're masculine, you'd say هذان هذان. If there are 2 and they're feminine, you would say هاتان هاتان. If there are a group of people, you would say هؤلاء هؤلاء. Again, whenever you see the small thing here, it's like alif. So you say هؤلاء and not هؤلاء. Or here, not هذا. It's هذا. Okay? Now, a small point. I just said that هؤلاء is used to point at a group of people. It is not used to point at a group of animals or objects. In this case, if you want to point at a group of animals or objects, you use هذه هذه, the feminine singular pronoun. And this is the case for other pronouns also, and you will find this very common in Arabic. There's a we distinguish between a group of people or a group of object. So say هؤلاء if there are people, and هذه if they're a group of elephants, for example. Now, notice that the difference between these ones and the ones that we described before is the ha. Ha. This ha in Arabic is called ha التنبيه. Ha التنبيه, which is meaning the ha that is used to draw attention. So basically this letter was added to draw attention. So if someone is talking, instead of just saying the, he would say هذا. So the ha in the beginning is to draw the attention of a person before pointing at something. Okay, this is the purpose, but you don't really need to memorize that. You just memorize these words. هذا, هذه, هذان, هاتان, هؤلاء. Now these are for objects that are close by. What about objects that are far? If I want to say that or those, in this case I would say ذلك or تلك. ذلك for masculine singular, تلك for feminine singular or group of inhuman objects or animals. Okay, هؤلاء, same as this one, but in this case, if it's if two people are far, you'd say also هؤلاء. Now, if you notice the difference between ذلك and the, okay, there's also ذاك in Arabic, and then there's ذلك, and the difference is you have lam. This lam is called lam al-bu'd, lam al-bu'd, and basically what it means is that this L sound gives the feeling of something that is long or far away, okay? So the difference between ذا and ذلك is something is here and something is over there. So if I want to say that, this is what you should memorize. If you're going to say that in Arabic, you say ذلك. If it's for feminine, you'd say تلك. ذلك, if it's a singular masculine, تلك, singular feminine. هؤلاء, if they're more than two, or actually in this case for those, if it's more than one. Okay, moving on. More of these pronouns is used to point at locations. So if we're going to say something is here, we'd say هنا, هنا, here, هنا, there, هنالك, here also, هناك, هناك, means here, هنالك means there, هنا, here, هنالك, there, هنا, هنالك, هنا, هنالك, here, there. Now one thing to notice is that in Arabic, here and here is, there is, this and this is, these and these are, is exactly the same. The verb to be in Arabic is implicit in these words. So depending on the sentence, they can be implicitly defined or implicitly well, they're just there, but they're not visible. That's how it works usually in Arabic. We don't use the verb to be too much. So this is if you want to point off at a location. So I want to say that I'm here, you say هنا, هنا and something. And then if you want to say هنالك, if it's something far, and you notice that there's lam, which is used to describe something that is far. Okay. Another interesting word is to point at action. What I mean pointing at action? Well, if you wanna doing some weird movements and you wanna say, oh, it's like this and like so, you write it like this, right? So in Arabic you say هكذا, هكذا, okay? Or the more pure form is كذا, كذا, without the ha for تنبيه. كذا, كذا, or هكذا. A lot of the times in Arabic, if you want to say something is like this and like that, you'd say هكذا وهكذا. Right? Or if you want to say, sometimes you'd hear it كذا وكذا. something is like this and like that. كذا وكذا. Okay, moving on to some examples. Maybe we'll get much better understanding. So if I'm going to say this is a sentence, how do you say in Arabic this is a sentence? Well, here's the way that you do it. You first write the thing or the object or whatever that you want to point at, and then you put in front of it the pointing article. Okay, so if I want to say this is a sentence, first I have to say a sentence. A sentence in Arabic is جملة. And this in Arabic, or this is, so this or this is, are both translated to هذا, or in this case, because جملة is feminine and singular, هذه. هذه جملة. هذه جملة. هذه جملة. This is a sentence. If I want to say this is a dog, well, first, what's a dog in Arabic? كلب. 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 That's a male dog. كلب. So if I want to say this is a dog, I say هذا كلب. هذا كلب. Okay, it's easy. This is translate to هذا. A dog translates to كلب. هذا كلب. Sentence translates to جملة. This is translated to هذه. هذه جملة. هذه جملة. هذا كلب. هذه جملة. More examples. Let's say I want to say that there's a pumpkin over there. I'm going to say that that is a pumpkin. Alright? So in Arabic, one word for pumpkin is can you read this? يقطين. يقطينة. يقطين. A pumpkin. Now how do you say that is a pumpkin? That, we have two options, either to say ذلك or تلك. ذلك or تلك. In this case, we're going to use تلك. تلك because يقطين ends with تاء مربوطة, and 90% of the words that ends with تاء مربوطة in Arabic are feminine words. So this is a pumpkin. تلك. يقطينة. تلك يقطينة. تلك يقطينة. Now if I want to say that it's a scary pumpkin, that is a scary pumpkin, first you have to translate a scary pumpkin. Translating this to Arabic is basically saying يقطينة مخيفة. يقطينة مخيفة. A scary pumpkin. The word scary in Arabic is مخيف. That's for a singular masculine. مخيفة for feminine, singular feminine. Okay, so a scare pumpkin يقطينة مخيفة. How to say that that is a scare pumpkin? So we're pointing at that object. Well, all we need to do is to put that is in front. يقطينة مخيفة. It's a feminine word. It's far away. Didn't change from the previous example. تلك يقطينة مخيفة. تلك يقطينة مخيفة. تلك يقطينة مخيفة. Next example. If I'm going to say this is a blue pen. This is a blue pen. A blue pen. In English, قلم أزرق. قلم أزرق. A blue pen. Now, if I want to say that or this is a blue pen, I would add هذا. هذا قلم أزرق. Okay, let's notice something here, something that I did not mention. A lot of people ask me, how do you know in Arabic that this word is pronounced like that if you're not writing علامات التشكيل? Many of the times my reply is that there's a lot of words that you figure out by the grammar or a word that you already know, and the pointing articles or demonstrating pronouns, which is أسماء الإشارة in Arabic, these words don't change form and they don't change علامات التشكيل. So when you see the word هذا written like that without anything, or even هؤلاء like that in a newspaper, you would read it هؤلاء. Nobody has to put علامات التشكيل because there's no other way of writing that. Okay, so this is a small note there. Now we translated this is a blue pen to هذا قلم أزرق. Is there a difference between this is a blue pen and this pen is blue? Well, the way that we translate it is quite different, because the pen is blue in Arabic could be written as it's actually written as القلم أزرق. القلم أزرق. So there's a difference between a blue pen and pen is blue. Inherently implicitly there's a small va there. The pen is blue. القلم أزرق. And why is it not a blue pen? A pen is blue, sorry. A pen is blue. Because here in the sentence we're trying to point a specific pen. So it's the pen. القلم أزرق. So we know that object. So we have to translate this to القلم أزرق. القلم أزرق. Then we put هذا in front. هذا القلم أزرق. هذا القلم أزرق. So the difference between this is a blue pen, which translates to هذا قلم أزرق, and this pen is blue. هذا القلم أزرق is just the L. Makes a big difference, but it's just two letters there. Okay? Okay, moving on. These mice are blind. These mice are blind. Well, if I'm going to translate this, first I have to know something. In English, these mice could refer to two or more. But in Arabic, we have to distinguish, are they two mice or are they more than two? If we assume that they are two, then the translation would be mice are blind translate to فأراني أعمياني فأراني أعمياني. If there are more than two, there's a third mouse there, then the sentence completely changes meaning. In English it stays the same, these mice are blind, but in Arabic it changes. There are three, it would be فئران عمي فأراني أعمياني. Two mice are blind. فئران عمي. More than two mice are blind. Okay, so the word two or number there is not really there, it's just implicit in the word. So translation of these mice are blind depends on the actual thing that's happening. Are they two mice or are they more? So in both cases, if I'm going to say these mice are blind, I will say for if they're dual, if they're two, here I say هذان. هذان الفأران أعميان. هذان الفأران أعميان. These mice are blind, but I'm talking about only two. If I say هؤلاء الفئران عمي, then it means that there are more than two. There are three or more. Okay? هؤلاء الفئران عمي. Now, just for you to know, blind in Arabic for singular is أعمى. أعمى, written with ألف مقصورة. أعمى. And if it's a girl, it's عمياء. And if they're dual, أعميان. If they're more, عمي. One of the most difficult things in Arabic is finding the plural of stuff, because the rules are not very clear. Anyway, let's continue with our examples. Now let's try to point at locations. So if I want to say the key is here, the key is here. Okay, key or the key, translate that would be المفتاح. 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 The key is here. Is here or here is are the same in Arabic. هنا. Since this came after for pronouns, for demonstrative pronouns, it's the same location. So if I say here is the key, I'll say هنا المفتاح. If I'm going to say the key is here, I'll say المفتاح هنا. المفتاح هنا. المفتاح هنا. The key is here. Okay, so just adding this gives you emphasis to the location. You're pointing at the location. المفتاح هنا. Okay. Now, what about if I want to really get the attention of the person that I'm talking to? Well, I'll say المفتاح ها هنا. المفتاح ها هنا. Okay, so this is for example of using the ha for drawing attention. Although don't do it, it's just because I want you to understand sometimes when you're reading some stuff. Okay, so the key is here is translated as المفتاح المفتاح هنا. Okay, that's completely wrong. Okay, rewrite that. المفتاح هنا. Now, if I want to say no, not there, here. How do you say that in Arabic? Well, maybe I'll do another lesson on that, but to say that something is not, but is, we use the phrase ليس بل. No, لا. Or كلا, which gives a more emphasized version of لا. كلا ليس هناك هنالك بل هنا. ليس هنالك بل هنا. No, not there, here. بل means rather, but it's not really equivalent in the sentence, but this is how we say it. كلا ليس هناك أو ليس هنالك بل هنا. Okay. That was all for our examples, but now we're going to talk about dialects. So, since dialects are a modified version of the original modern standard Arabic, when you go to Arabic countries, you might find people speaking in a very different way. So here I'm going to list, for what I know, all the demonstrative pronouns or أسماء الإشارة that are modified in dialects. Okay, so bear with me, this is just for your information. They're not written in Arabic. You should never be reading these unless they're the same form as standard Arabic, but you might be hearing them. Okay, so for example, for this, to say this in Arabic, we said you say هذا or the or هذه or the. Okay, we said that. Now notice how the variation comes in dialects. You might find people saying da or di or هذا or هذه or هاي or the or the. Okay, also some people makes the so heavy that it sounds as if the. Okay, but it's not. It's like between the and the. You say the okay, instead of the. It's a slight modification on the or the, but you might hear it like this: da, di, hada, hadi, hay, the. Okay, in other countries, now I'm not saying that these are all the countries, but these are what I know. Okay, now for that, if if I'm going to use that in dialects, you might hear هداك, هديك, ذاك, ذيك. Okay, some dialects don't have the pronoun for far away, so this and that is exactly the same. Okay, now for these, you might hear دول, دول, or هدول, or هول, or هو, or ذول, or هذول. For those, if I'm going to say those, you might hear also دول, هدول, هول, هو, ذيل, هذيل. Okay, some people even might add كسرة at the lam, هذيلي. Okay, sometimes. Also, if I'm going to say here, so the variation of here, you might say people saying هنا instead of هنا, هنا, هون instead of هنا, هون, or هوني, هوني, إهني, and sometimes I've heard هاني. Okay, هنا, هون, هوني, إهني, هاني. If you're gonna point for far, there, I might say هناك, هناك, هنيك, هونيك, هناك. Okay, so these are all the dialects for the demonstrative pronouns or أسماء الإشارة. That I'm aware of. There might be others, but these are the most common ones. So I'm going to read them very quickly again. Da, di, hada, hadi, hai, ذا, ذي, هداك, هديك, ذاك, ذيك, دول, هدول, هول, هو, ذول, هذول, دول, هدول, هو, هول, ذيل, هذيل, هنا, هون, هوني, إهني, هاني, هناك, هنيك, هونيك, هناك. Okay, a lot of variations, but this is what dialects are all about, and I'm not teaching dialects, I'm teaching modern standard Arabic. Anyway, thank you very much for watching this video. I'm sure it was long. I hope you've learned something. Thank you very much. And if you have any questions, you go here, Facebook, Homelang1. I'm over there for any questions. You can also post your comments, your questions here, but if you want a response, it's faster over there. Please like the video, post any comments, and see you next time.